Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Got a few stories to share with you in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam, including this one from crypto media outlet You Today. Hundreds of millions of XRP transactions pop again as Ripple address raises stakes. It's been so interesting seeing the activity occurring on the XRP ledger lately. I've been covering it in various stories, and I'll talk about it a little bit briefly, but it's been peculiar. Certain things occurring that I just haven't seen ever. And so, mind you, I've been in the world of crypto since November 2017. Some of the peculiarities I've been highlighting and crypto media has been dutifully covering. It's just been strange stuff in terms of volume and, account activation, stuff like that. But anyway, got that. Also, we've got Tether. Here's the headline. Crypto market may pump as Tether keeps minting USDT by billions. So there you go. Snap of a finger, new money flowing into crypto. Well, we'll see if it stays on the sidelines or jumps in. And then there was also this from the Daily Hodl. This is a positive sign of IF since one. Institutions turned bullish on crypto in July with 2022's strongest inflows of 474 million doll hairs. Yes, I said doll hairs. From CoinShares. What's that from? What is that doll hairs from? I have to Google. Somebody out there screaming the right answer out there. I just can't hear you. Maybe if you're a little louder. Where's that from? Doll hairs. It's from something. I just don't know what. Now it's kind of bothering me. I feel like I just want to stop recording this and find out. But I will wait until after I finish this, and then I will discover the answer. But before we go any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby, just for fun, damn it. And if you don't like it, well, you can just get it out. As I record this, XRP's at 37 cents, Bitcoin's at $22,935, market cap for the asset class a little shy of 1.1 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 40.36%. So mostly, yeah, I mean, crypto volatile in narrow bands. I mean, crypto's always like quote-unquote volatile, but still, if you look at generally where it's been over the last several days or so, pretty flat, actually. Here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 30 out of 100. So, yes, market participants in fear, but at least they're not in extreme fear. I don't like seeing that. I don't wish that upon the lovable, cuddly little retail lemmings out there. They're just trying to live their best lives. They don't need none of that extreme fear up in this bitch. Here's the latest from chart analyst Credible Crypto. Here, I'll make his chart full screen as I share what he had to say. And this is from yesterday evening. He wrote, lots of chop here, and he's talking about Bitcoin, by the way. Lots of chop here on lower time frames, but with this local sweep of the highs, we finally look ready to get that flush down into downside targets, looking for a higher low and a reversal to continue upwards to $25,000 plus. So he is kind of warning, yeah, you might see some stuff to the downside here, maybe as low as 20,700 or somewhere thereabout, but probably a hair higher than that at least. And that would be a higher low than what we saw previously. The last time we saw a move down after a move up. So, wouldn't mind seeing $25,000 Bitcoin. When was the last time we even saw that? I have to pull it up on the chart. I'm not sure. It's been a hot minute since we last saw that. But there are a lot of analysts calling for this type of activity. Okay, so fine, put in a higher low. Maybe we even see 28,000, 30,000, depending on which analyst you're talking about. But a lot of them are anticipating that. And still, some of them think there's a chance you do see a break below $20,000, or at least that it's possible. So, like, for instance, Income Sharks here, I don't know that he's thinking that that is what's going to happen, but he's acknowledging something like that could happen, and he wouldn't hate it. He would say this is a fantastic buying opportunity, and he wrote the following. Bitcoin. Nothing goes up in a straight line, and nothing has changed since I posted this chart in June. Red days or drops are for accumulating. I'm so bullish that I'd love $20,000 or sub $20,000 to buy more before the next move up. Cheaper prices equal better profit in the future. Well, of course, that's certainly true. So I don't pretend to know how low this is going to drop either. I'm so glad I'm not a chart analyst, because those guys, I'm telling you, like, fine, anytime you're a YouTuber, no matter what you're covering, crypto or not, it doesn't matter what you're covering, you're always going to have to put up with some level of trolling out there, and that's fine. It comes with the territory. I'm not complaining. I'm just observing. But I will tell you this. The chart analysts, my gosh, they have it on a whole different level because they're talking about actual price expectations and this and that. I'm just like, damn, bitch, I'm so glad that is not my gig. I don't want to. My whole thing is just like, be aware, control your emotions, and hold long term. That's what I do for myself. So you do whatever you want. But I'm saying, like, to me, just investing in general, whether you're talking about stocks or crypto, that to me is what makes sense. But you still do need to stay in tune, especially with crypto, because it's a quickly evolving landscape. And so, I mean, what if there is a flushing out of the system here where finally we have the come to Jesus moment and everybody decides, oh, wow, we are all holding a bunch of S-word coins. We should stop doing that. Well, eventually that's going to happen to some degree because you don't need 20,000 different freaking cryptocurrencies. I just don't know when it's going to happen. But see, that's why it's much more important to stay in tune with this than stocks. And I'm not saying don't stay in tune with stocks if you hold stocks, of course, but it is easier if you're just buying an index fund, right? Just stay in tune. Just make sure that whatever you have, it's within those types of parameters. Like, that's easy. You got over 100 years worth of data, but when you're talking about something evolving as quickly as this, there are other things to consider, I don't think that 99.9% of stocks in the short term are going to cease to exist. But as far as cryptos, yeah, the next, whether it's 2, 3, 5, 10 years, well, I don't know how long it's going to take. Yeah, I think most of them go the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature. So that's why it's like when we have these bear markets and people exit or they just don't pay attention as much, I'm like, okay, you do you, girl, but I'm just saying, like, this is when it's most important to pay attention, and I know it. I started my channel middle of December 2018. I get it. Nobody was paying attention, and now here we are, allegedly in a bear market again, and fewer people are paying attention. Okay, you do you, but this is the most important time to pay attention, especially for people that want to position themselves for the next rally up, which is basically what Income Sharks is freaking getting at right here. The people that are positioning themselves now, you get way better returns. But if you wait to be validated and you jump in as prices are already moving up, like, the multiplier effect gets diminished so quickly. It can go from life-changing wealth to, hey, that was pretty good, I guess. It does. Or it can go from life-changing wealth opportunity to, oh, wow, I've lost everything because I bought the top. Like, oh, that's the exact flip side of it. But that's the way it is. Humans get to make their choices. Now, this headline from you today: crypto market may pump as Tether keeps minting USDT by billions. As was reported by Whale Alert, the issuer of one of the most in-demand stablecoins, Tether, has printed an additional billion USDT. The issuance was relaunched after a 3-month break, when Tether began to actively build up its supply of stablecoins again on July 29th. Now, and you can see there's a tweet here on your screen for those of you looking. 1 billion USDT minted at Tether Treasury. Ooh, it must be a rather esteemed building at which that is pressed, right? I can only imagine walking up to the gates, and then you walk up, and then they flag you in, and then I can imagine these Roman-looking columns, and it's a very sophisticated facility, and they're minting the Tether inside of there. Oh, it'd be just glorious to see the inner workings. Now, the truth is, though, that it's probably, if you go to the website, they probably have an address. If you go there, there's nobody actually in the building, and then it's in somebody's parents' basement, I don't know, and they got like a server down there, and then they're just running code and printing billions of Tether. I don't know, look, I'm being a little facetious, but it is true that they're just not transparent. That's the problem I have with them. I hope that this is all legit. And look, if all of this is actually backed as they say it is, well, okay, fine. If it's actually backed, but you haven't proved it. So I don't know why you think you've earned my confidence or anybody's confidence in the space when you just make these claims and we're just supposed to have trust. Look at what happens when people just trust but don't verify. Look, have you seen the, as they call it, the contagion in crypto over the last several months in particular, and how it's just ripped apart the entire crypto space? Like all sorts of 3 Hours Capital, Celsius, Terra Luna, like all this crap. You don't just get trust. Anyway, check this out, though. Piece reads as follows. Many analysts and crypto enthusiasts tend to believe that the rising supply of stablecoins is more of a bullish signal for the crypto market. For example, according to the head of Binance, Changping Zhao, or simply CZ, the growing supply of stablecoins is bullish for cryptocurrencies in the long term, as it is the same money waiting on the fence and potential powder for a future rally. So yeah, so look at it this way. That's why I said, if this billion Tether, and maybe some of it's been deployed, presumably some of it would have been by now, but even if most of it's sitting on the sideline, it's not. You don't print Tether with the intent of just keeping it in Tether forever, or else you'd keep dollars. Something's going to happen with that billion, and you understand what happens when that flows into crypto, and then you bid up prices. it hasn't done that yet. It was just minted here, which is why I said this is fantastic news if it's actually backed. If it's not, then I am a sad panda. I don't know what else to tell you. Now this headline from you today: hundreds of millions of XRP transactions pop again as Ripple address raises stakes. The new week continued with fresh multi-million-dollar XRP transfers around and near various on-demand liquidity hubs of Ripple. Recipients of the multi-million-dollar transactions included well-known centralized exchanges, members of the Ripple ecosystem such as Mexico's Bitso, Bitstamp, and the same unknown wallets. However, the stakes have risen in recent weeks, and now the turnover of XRP transactions through these schemes exceeds hundreds of millions of tokens. And so that's the only thing where I was kind of like, why did you word it like that? What do you mean schemes? Did you just pick an ill-advised word for this particular paragraph here? Because it's like a positive tone, but when you say scheme, it has a negative connotation. And I don't know. Is English your first language, bro? I mean, it might not be. It seriously might not be. Gamza, just saying. And that's fine. That's fine. But just have a little fun here, folks. So, but it is true. So, look, there's been all sorts of wacky stuff happening. It was, and this one, I still don't know what causes. I haven't seen any explanation for this, but when the volume of XRP, which, by the way, in terms of dollars, what is it today? So, it's actually a little low. Okay, a lot of times it's around like $1 billion. Over the last 24 hours, XRP, it's been 632 million. So there was like a 4-hour period where there was I believe this is correct, 18.7 billion XRP moved, which at the time would have been like 8 billion in like 4 hours. And there's still no explanation for that. Like it's activity provably on the ledger. Sentiment, I believe, was the on-chain analytics firm talking about that. And just like, what are people doing with these very large quantities of XRP? Like something's going on here. And I don't know, because it doesn't... Is it just exchanges? I don't know. I'm why? Like, that kind of quantity in 4 hours? I don't know. None of it makes sense to me. It just makes you wonder, and I just, like, I know I don't want to get too wild in speculation, but it just kind of makes you wonder, does it have something to do with testing of some sort of technology having to do with something even Ripple would be doing with on-demand liquidity? Potential partners testing the movement of XRP? Like private, like they're just doing, there are other firms out there, big banks, pilots, just doing pilots out there, and we just don't know about it. Does kind of make you wonder. But it's just, the amount of activity out there has been truly wild on the XRP ledger. I'm just going to keep watching it. I'll keep sharing with you what pops up. But if you know anything else, you know me, because I don't pretend to know everything. And like, when it comes to these transactions, yes, the ledger is public, but it doesn't mean it's easy to figure out who owns what wallet. That's for damn sure. And then there's this. A positive note here from the Daily Hodl. Institutions turned bullish on crypto in July, with 2022's strongest inflows of $474 million. Institutions opted to buy back into crypto throughout July, according to leading digital assets manager CoinShares. Digital asset investment products witnessed a total of $474 million worth of inflows throughout July, the highest total of any month in 2022, per CoinShares' latest fund flows weekly report. The monthly total almost matched, and check this out, this is amazing. The monthly total almost matched June's $484 million worth of outflows, with the last week of July witnessing $81 million worth of inflows, a fifth consecutive week of inflows. So think about that. In July, they said inflows into crypto, $474 million. So that's positive, right? That's obviously a positive sign, money flowing in. The month before, you almost saw that much in money going out. It's kind of wild, right? Crypto's crazy. You got to understand that the craziness, it's just an attribute in markets that where there's so much uncertainty, it's a frenzy, and they're illiquid, and just embrace, right? Like, what else can you really do? If you're going to be in this space, you better embrace. I'm just saying. And they noted here, nearly $85 million flowed into Bitcoin investment products last week, bringing the top crypto assets total inflows to $306.3 million in July and $326.1 million in 2022. So it's just one thing. There's no single metric to look at, and that's the end all be all in terms of, oh, everything's fine now. But just be aware of everything. It helps. tamp down negative emotions, just being aware of stuff. Even if bad stuff does happen, it makes it much more easy for humans to manage those scare times if you're just aware of what's happening in the space and the triggers for it. But if bad, like really truly scary things are happening in terms of price action and you're clueless as to why, and you don't understand that most price action is just irrational humans and it doesn't actually matter, like that's when you're putting yourself in a situation where you might be more prone to make some really seriously stupid emotional decisions from a financial perspective. Just saying. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I'm out of time. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.